Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Lighten Up. Lighten Up with Bo. Welcome back for all those that have been coming for, what is it, almost 6 months now? 5 months? Kind of a new channel, but the growth has been fun. And welcome to first timers that have just found your way today. Whatever brought you here, you are welcome. And the intention with the Lighten Up with Bo channel is that you learn what it means to live free and at ease and neutral and really unaffected by the honking horns or your crazy family life or basically everything that you think is real and that's gripping you with fear or anxiety, to help you live lighter, to live as the true nature, the being, the soul, the enlightened self, whatever you call it, to live in a more permanent state of that. That is an actual state to be lived. So I know this is the Course in Miracles lesson. What lesson are we on? We're on lesson 133. But even if you're not doing the lessons in A Course in Miracles, I give a little short breakdown before I actually read the lesson. And I can promise you that whatever drew you to this page today, trust spirit, maybe God, whatever you call it, universe, whatever. Trust the instinct that brought you here, and maybe you'll feel a little bit lighter with just this little idea. But the Course in Miracles lessons themselves are designed to give you the courage to let go of everything you thought was what you are, that the world was, that what your mind thought was true. Anything based in fear to be let go so that the true, unlimited, eternal, unending you that you really are, not in a body, but this spirit of you, could be restored to your mind. So out with the old, in with the new. So welcome to Lighten Up Movement. You can go to Lighten Up Movement. It's a movement of lightness. LightenUpMovement.com. You'll see all sorts of fun things, PDFs for free, little $8 PDFs to help you kind of reset. There's my book page, which is coming out in the next 3 weeks. Super excited. And just some fun things to look around on. If you want to wear a hat that reminds you to not take it all so seriously or maybe inspire others, why not? So that's at the Lighten Up Movement website. Appreciate your support, value you being here. Most importantly, I just hope you value you being here. So let's read the lesson. And so first, I'm just going to tell you the lesson. If you've been doing the lessons, again, great. I will not value what is valueless. That's the lesson. I will not value what is valueless. Some of you might already go, I think I get that. Now, I'm going to read the lesson and break it down, but for those that may not stick around, maybe you just needed to hear something. I will not place importance upon things that really have no importance. Better yet, I'm basically putting an offering to say, help me not to value the things that really have no meaning. Help me to discern what is valuable and what is valueless, right? So some ways of saying it is like most of you are not asking too much from life. In case you didn't know, you're not asking too much, but most people are asking way too little. Most of us keep settling for things that are temporary, that fade, that run out, that don't last, whether it's emotional, physical. Most of us settle for things that don't last. Things that disappear from your life, from your being, from your character. And then we wonder why we kind of walk around in the world not feeling so complete when we value these types of things. This lesson basically gives you 3, maybe actually 4, if I remember, kind of questions to ask yourself to basically test everything in your life. Is it something you really want in your life? Or is it something that you've been valuing doesn't really have any value? And honestly, why do you even want things? It really has you look at have you ever stopped to ask, why do I want this in my life? What's it really for? Who's it really for? Right? And the good news, maybe it's good news, is what's already really truly valuable is already yours. It's nothing that you have to go find or substitute or one thing and then you got to do another thing and then another thing, because that value isn't permanent, like I said. Because you put your faith in things that are temporary, and so you're always How can we not be in a state of anxiety when we put our allegiance into things that don't really last? Well, that means some part of our spirit, it's already knowing, well, at some point it's going to wear out and we'll have to go find something else to take its place. How can you find the state of permanent love and peace that you really are, that your soul is, when you put your worshiping and your adorning and your valuing things that are temporary? God says all life is eternal, and yet we worship and put our faith into things that absolutely we know don't last. So let's read the lesson. I hope you find it valuable. We will not value what is valueless. I will not value what is valueless. Paragraph 1. Sometimes in teaching, there is a benefit, particularly after you have gone through what seems theoretical and far from what the student has already learned, to bring them back to practical concerns. This we will do today. We will not speak of lofty, world-encompassing ideas, but dwell instead on benefits to you. Paragraph 2. You do not ask too much of life, but you ask far too little. When you let your mind be drawn to bodily concerns, how I look, am I fat, am I thin, do I look beautiful, do I look pretty, do I look handsome, do I look strong, do I look powerful, whatever. When literally what this body identity, when you let your mind be drawn to bodily concerns, to things you buy, to eminence or status as valued by the world, you ask for sorrow, not for happiness. That basically means when you think about those things, you're asking to feel grief and sorrow and not joy and happiness. The Course in Miracles does not attempt to take from you the little that you have. It does not try to substitute utopian ideas for satisfactions which the world contains. There are no satisfactions in the world. There it is again. Plain as day. Nothing to be confused. A statement of clarity. There are no satisfactions in the world. Paragraph 3. Today, we list the criteria, the real criteria by which to test all things that you want. Unless they meet these sound, let me get my book. I just want to follow along because I'm reading online, but I have it all highlighted here. Dun, 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 dun. All right. Unless they meet these sound requirements, they are not worth desiring at all. For they can but replace what offers more. Meaning anything that we're going to go through this criteria for what you is valuable to have in your existence while you're in this dream of the human experience or not. Meaning what to desire. It doesn't mean you have to throw things out, but what is it really worth desiring to have? Because what you typically gain into your life now are just replacements for what something far more will offer you, the divine truth, the permanent, the everlasting. Now what it says is the laws that govern choice you cannot make. No more than can you make alternatives from which to choose. The choosing you can do. Choice is yours. You must, but it is wise to learn the laws that you set in motion when you choose, and what alternatives you choose between. We have already stressed that there are only two. However many there appear to be, there's only two. The range is set, and this we cannot change. And that means like it's true or false. It's real or fantasy. It's love or hate. You can dress it up in 70 million different things, but regardless of what you choose to dress it up as, make no mistake, at its core, there are two choices, love or fear, reality or illusion. There are no other choices you're making, valuable or valueless. That's it. The range is set, and this we cannot change. It would be most ungenerous to you to let alternatives be unlimited. and thus delay your final choice until you had considered all of them in time and not been brought so clearly to the place where there is but one choice that must be made. So what that's saying is like, it would be most ungenerous if Spirit basically said, well, we're just going to give you an infinite number of choices that you have to go between before you land on the final one choice that brings you home, that restores your mind, that restores the holy mind we share to all of our awarenesses. No, there's only one choice. Paragraph 5. Another kindly and related law is that there is no compromise in what your choice must bring. It cannot give you just a little, for there is no in between. Each choice that you make brings everything to you or nothing. Therefore, if you learn the tests by which you can distinguish everything from nothing, if you can learn the criteria which will help you understand what really, because remember, what God created is everything. It's always one. So either everything is brought to you with your choice simultaneously or nothing. There is no such thing as, well, it brings me a little bit of love and a little bit of hate, or a little bit of truth, but also some fairy tale reality. Or it brings me everything or nothing, right? You will make the better choice. So if you learn the tests that will help you distinguish between everything and nothing, you will make the better choice. First, are we there for the first one? Yes, here's the first criteria. If you choose a thing that will not last forever, what you choose or what you chose is valueless. It has no value. Does it say unworthy? Does it say bad? No, it says valueless. It has no value because only what unlimited life creates for impermanence that will last eternally is real. So if it's something that will not last forever, it's valueless. A temporary value is without all value, right? A pseudo value is without any value. It either has all value forever or not at all. It's not like it'll have a little bit of value for now and then not at all. Time can never take away a value that is real. What fades and dies was never there and makes no offering to them who chooses it. We are deceived by nothing in a form that we think we like. We're deceived by the forms of nothing in a beautiful form that we think we like, even if it fades and dies and changes, right? Paragraph 7. Next, if you choose to take a thing away from, is this number 2? Yes. If you choose to take a thing away from someone else, you will have nothing left. This is because when you deny anyone's right to everything, you have denied your own right. This doesn't just mean physical things, emotional things. If you offer all of Christ consciousness to another being, if you say, this person I offer perfect love, and I offer them to be the Christ in my mind and only this, I offer them everything, right? But when you deny someone's right to everything by your belief, by what you say, then you have denied your own. And then you therefore will not recognize the things that you really have, the true things, the qualities of unlimitedness, the qualities of perfect love, the qualities of your true self. So you therefore will not recognize the things you really have, denying that they are there. Who seeks to take away from others has been deceived by the illusion that loss can offer gain, right? Yet loss must offer more loss and nothing more. So if you feel like you're going to get yours, right? How many people do we hear in the world go, I'm going to get mine? Like, you know what? Enough of this. We're all our own individuals. So there we already believe in separation. And if we're really, really honest, we say, you know what? Just the heck with it. I'm just going to get mine. Forget about them. If we don't offer everything to them, we can't experience it. So that's what it means. Loss just offers more loss. So if you think I'm going to get mine, and maybe that involves like, we may be all going for the same thing in the middle, I'm going after it first, right? So their loss, my gain. It is what it is. They did the best they could, but their loss, my gain. I'm better for it. All these terms. No. Loss only offers more loss. Paragraph 8. Your next consideration, this is the third one. So this is how to decipher what you desire for in your life. Again, what's the first one? If something that you choose will not last forever, it's valueless. If you think that the only way you can have something is that somebody else might lose, there's more value. It's not valuable. The next consideration, paragraph 8, is the one on which the others rest. Why is the choice that you make of value to you? What attracts it to your mind? What purpose does it have? What does it serve? What purpose does it serve? Here it is easiest of all to be deceived, to have distorted thinking. For what the ego wants, it fails to recognize. What the ego wants, it always fails to recognize. It does not even tell the truth as it perceives it, for it needs to keep the halo which it uses to protect its goals from tarnish and from rust, that you may see how innocent it is. So what it's saying here is the ego, the spiritualized ego, spiritual bypass, right? It'll easily act like that it's seeking for something that's really of value, that it's loving, that it's for the greater good, but it doesn't really, it keeps it wrapped in some spiritual bow so that you can feel that this desire in you that's still seeking from the ego is actually holy. It's actually beautiful. It's totally innocent. It's not harming anyone. It's all good. So this is what it means, right? So why is the choice really being made? What attracts your mind to it? What purpose does it serve? If the ego's choosing, it wants nothing to do with those questions. Paragraph 9. Yet is its camouflage a thin veneer, which could deceive but those who are content to be deceived? Meaning, if you feel like you're victimized by anything in the world, like, oh my God, they let me down, they took it from me, they deceived me, it's only because you wanted to be. Its goals are obvious to anyone who cares to look for them. Here is deception doubled, for the one who is deceived will not perceive that they have merely failed to gain. They will believe that they have served the ego's hidden goals. Right? So what it's saying is, when we're stuck believing in these ego narratives and these false ideals and these distractions and the things that, we feel like the ego drives to have us get what we think we don't have, the camouflage, the thin veneer, when we all of a sudden don't get what we need, or we feel like we don't have it, or we've lost something, or it's not total and we feel deceived or let down, it's only because we wanted to be deceived. We wanted to be let down. Because these were the ego's hidden goals when we go out in the world to try to find something valuable. It wants you to go find things under this disguise of being involved spiritually, looking for things that are spiritually. But again, it already said, where did it say it back up here? Was it paragraph 2? There are no satisfactions in the world. And this is what it's saying. Once the ego tricks you to going out in the world once again, you're going to feel like that you've merely failed to gain. Right? Because you believed the ego's dictates of what you should go look for out there in the world, in another person, in another situation, the valueless. Paragraph 10. And this is more about the ego. Yet though it tries to keep its halo clear within its vision, still must we perceive its tarnished edges and its rusted core, the muck of it all, the mess of it all. Its ineffectual mistakes appear as uncorrectable errors, sins to him, because we look upon the tarnish as our own, the rust as a sign of deep unworthiness within ourselves. But those who would still preserve the ego's goals and serve them as their own makes no mistakes according to the dictates of its guide. This guidance teaches it is error to believe that sins are but mistakes. For who would suffer for his wrongdoings if this were so? And again, I know these sections can be like a mind fuck of reading, excuse my language, but let's just keep it real. Again, Spirit doesn't care what language you use. I'm trying to get the point across that, again, these writings are not meant to confuse. And it is going to bring it back home right now. Paragraph 11. And so we come to the criterion for choice that is the hardest to believe because its obviousness is overlaid with many levels of obscurity and confusion. If you feel any guilt about your choice, about any choice you make, if you feel any, maybe that wasn't the right one, I don't know, did that affect them? I don't know, are they going to be upset with me? Did I, any kind of If you feel any guilt about your choice, you have allowed the ego's goals to come between the real alternatives. And thus you do not realize there are only two choices. And the alternatives that you think you chose seems fearful and too dangerous to be the nothingness it actually is. All things, the two choices, right, are valuable or valueless. All things are either valuable or valueless, worthy or not of being sought after at all, totally, entirely desirable, or not worth the slightest effort to obtain. Choosing is easy just because of this. Complexity. I want you to hear this. When it feels really complex, any choice you make for your heart, for your soul in this dream, in this life, complexity is nothing but a screen of smoke, which hides the very simple fact that no decision can be difficult. What is the gain to you in learning this? It is far more than merely letting you make choices easily and without pain. See, it's not just about if you choose with spirit and if you choose the truth and if you choose what's considered valuable for the whole all the time, that in of itself is making an easy choice that has no pain. The other benefit, paragraph 13, heaven itself is reached with empty hands and open minds. So we're starting the longer meditations for this lesson. Heaven itself is reached with empty hands and open minds, which come with nothing to find everything which come with nothing to find everything and claim it as their own. So again, heaven is a state of oneness that is outside the realm of past and future and time. It is an eternal oneness that we and our very being is made of. That this is the core of who we are when we let go of that we're some entity trapped in these bodies. Heaven itself is reached with empty hands and open minds, which come with nothing to find everything and claim it as their own. We will attempt to reach this state today, with self-deception laid aside, and with an honest willingness to value but the truly valuable and the real. So the intention with these meditations is to value the feeling, the sense, the ideas, whatever comes through, of only what is truly valuable and the real. Our 2 extended practice periods of 15 minutes. So there's going to be morning and night 15-minute meditations. You will begin by saying this a couple times slowly before closing your eyes. I will not value what is valueless, and only what has value do I seek, for only that do I desire to find. You're making a statement to your soul, to your heart, to spirit. I will not value what is valueless. This doesn't mean, guys, that you won't go out in the world and do stuff, but you don't value it. There's no grip of importance. There's no fear of loss or a grip. There's no grabbing to have or clinging so you don't lose. If you feel like, oh my God, I don't want to let this go, or this is really important, if you walked into your home or your eternal storage of things and something you seemed to like was gone in 1 second, if you could look upon that and feel no sense of loss, then you know you're valuing what is valuable. So you say this, I will not value what is valueless, and only what has value do I seek. For only that do I desire to find. And then you go into closed eye and receive what waits for everyone who reaches, unencumbered, to the gate of heaven, which swings open as we come. Should you begin to let yourself throughout the day collect some needless burdens, or believe you see some difficult decision during the day facing you that you can't figure out, all throughout the day, in between your morning and nighttime meditations, where you're seeking to find the truth and to really live in the ideas of valuable and what are valuable. But if anything burdens you throughout the day, some decision, some situation, just be quick all throughout the day to say this in response. I will not value what is valueless, for what is valuable belongs to me. Meaning what God already gave, which is your true inherent value, your true nature, your being that is unharmable, the Christ nature that we all share. Again, you can call it whatever. You can call it the Flintstones nature. It doesn't matter what words we give it. What it's pointing to is a shared reality. And that was given to you before the world of time, and it is with you long after. That is what belongs to you. The only thing that's really valuable is you remembering who you are. So when you do these 15-minute meditations, right, I'm only here to seek and desire and to find what is truly valuable, what is forever, what is permanent. So I hope that made sense today. I hope you enjoyed it. We're going on to another lesson, another video. There's more coming soon, but don't take any of this serious. I know it can feel heavy as I read it for some of you, but these lessons are really about finding the light and pointing home to the truth that you are. So I'm going to see you on the next lesson 134. Stay light, stay blessed, stay well, comment, subscribe, whatever you want, but reach out to me on my website, lightenupmovement.com, with any questions, answers, or thoughts. I'll see you soon.